Good morning to you all and welcome to Wake Up News Live on Globe TV with me, Sandra. Now, coming up in the bulletin this morning, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has announced that airline passengers traveling to Ghana will from Friday, March 31st, no longer be required to fill out landing cards at the Kotoka International Airport. Also, we have for you President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has reiterated the importance of the judiciary to Ghana's democratic growth. And we have for you chaos erupted at the Enyinam police station following the arrest of 2 illegal miners by the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners in the Tiwa East District of the Eastern Region. We have for you traditional leaders and the youth groups in the 5 Ahafo North mining communities have petitioned the government to prompt state laws to ensure the Newmont Ahafo North mining project commences without further delays. And also the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is embarking on a massive cleanup and enforcement exercise at the Bobloshi market to maintain sanity within the environment. Well, we have details of these stories coming up shortly, including sports. The importance of the judiciary to Ghana's democratic growth. According to the president, a strong, independent and fair judiciary will enable the country to overcome many of its challenges. Speaking at the swearing-in of some 21 High Court judges at the Jubilee House on Tuesday, President Akufo-Addo said dedication and diligence should be their hallmark. The president administered the oath of allegiance and secrecy, as well as the judicial oath to the new justices of the Superior Court of Judicature in the banquet hall of Jubilee House.
The 21 justices of the High Court inducted into office is the 6th time the president has sworn in justices of the High Court since his assumption into office. According to President Akufo-Addo, the justices, including 12 men and 9 women, sworn into office upon the advice of the Judicial Council, given per the provisions of Article 144 Clause 3 of the Constitution, are eminently fit and qualified for the position of justices of the High Court and have the impartiality of mind and independence of spirit necessary to hold this high office. Speaking at the swearing-in at the Jubilee House, Mr. Akufo-Addo said dedication and diligence should be the hallmark.
The judiciary has onerous responsibilities to protect the fundamental human rights of citizens, to act as the arbiter in disputes between the state and the citizen, and the arbiter in disputes between citizens, to serve as the bulwark for the defense of the liberties and the rights of our people, and for the promotion of the orderly development of our nation. The High Court, as stipulated in Article 140 of the Constitution, quote, has jurisdiction in all matters, and in particular, in civil and criminal matters, and such original, appellate, and other jurisdiction as may be conferred on it by this Constitution or any other law. So to you, newly sworn in justices, I say that it is essential that you show that you are honest, possess integrity, and a sound knowledge of the law. A corrupt or incompetent judge is a danger to the public interest and judicial administration. The situation where judges prefer judgments on the basis of decisions from lower courts and cite them as law is not acceptable.
Now, the Ghana Police Service is probing the alleged murder of a Ghanaian woman who was back in the country on holiday from a base in Italy. The Italian-based Ghanaian woman, believed to be in her 50s, was murdered by a neighbor at Sepebo Krom near Kumasi in the Ashanti region. According to reports, Marco sustained stab wounds from her 20-year-old neighbor identified as Berfi. Here is a report filed by Idrusu Hamzata.
The suspect, Berfi, is like a family to the deceased. It is believed that Berfi often visits Marcos, the deceased, anytime she returns home and is around. But on Monday, it was alleged that Marcos has been murdered by Berfi. According to an eyewitness, they saw the suspect jump out of a window in the victim's apartment to flee the scene after allegedly executing the crime. The deceased lived in an apartment on the second floor of a story building. They believe the suspect went through a window leading to Marco's apartment where he gained access to her. According to some residents, the suspect had attempted to break into the apartment weeks ago, but any issues regarding that were solved. An eyewitness said he got to the scene after hearing a noise that suggested a struggle in the apartment. The alarmed residents later broke into the room to find the woman in a pool of blood. However, the suspect Berfi was arrested by some neighbors who tracked him from the scene after several attempts to prevent his escape. The suspect is, however, assisting the police investigation.
Still with the police, now the police are considering further action after a post-mortem on one Shadrach Kalu, who died allegedly in the hands of police, seemed to have exonerated the law enforcement agency from wrongdoing. A sister of the deceased had alleged in a viral video that her brother, who was billed to travel to Germany the following day, was manhandled by the police officer on duty at the West Hills Mall, causing his death.
The Ghana Police Service, upon hearing the incident, charged the Police Professional Standards Bureau to begin investigations into the allegations made by Perpetual Didier. According to the police in a statement on Tuesday, initial investigations led to the arrest of Osei Kwame Boafo, a private security guard who was alleged to have used a taser on the deceased during his arrest. The police further explained that as part of the investigations, a police pathologist met the representatives of the deceased over the post-mortem examination, giving the deceased side the option of getting a pathologist of their choice. However, the representatives opted for the police pathologist. The post-mortem is said to have been done on Tuesday in the presence of 3 relatives of the deceased. According to the autopsy report, the young man died from asphyxiation, adding 8 zipped bags containing dry leaves suspected to be narcotic drugs tied in a piece of black polythene bag were found stuck in his throat. Meanwhile, the sister of Shadrach Alu has disputed the account of the police service over the post-mortem report released on Tuesday. According to Perpetual Didier, the police may have planted the black polythene bag in the throat of his brother before the post-mortem was conducted by the pathologist.
If they are saying that they have done all investigations and whatever, he swallowed a weed in which is wrapped in rubber. Then they found 8 folded wheat inside. Maybe Sagana for say weed in Nkrumah. Weed obi to me many weed rubber in Nkrumah to me many easy sir. The time that he was swallowing it, have they given us a footage of that time he was trying swallowing the weed, and he didn't struggle. He swallowed the weed easily like that. So my stand is, because they didn't wait for our doctor to come inside the operation, I will not accept it. My family too, they are saying they will not accept whatever they brought out. Footage of the action, how the brutalization was going on, how they were handcuffing him, beating him, stepping on his back, holding his legs, touching him with a teaser. All this thing, we have it in footage. But the police did not include it in their statement. That means they have swept away everything apart from.
Moving forward, chaos erupted at the Enyinam police station following the arrest of 2 illegal miners by the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners in the Atiwa East District of the Eastern Region. The two, an excavator operator and the site supervisor, together with others, had reportedly redirected the flow of the Brim River and were actively mining a few meters behind the Enyinam police station when they were nabbed. The national executives of the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners, together with their task force, marched the suspect to the police station to hand them over to the security operatives, but were met with fierce resistance from other illegal miners in the community who had massed up at the Enyinam police station. Speaking to the media after visiting some sites in the Fantiakwa South District, the national president of the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners, Philip Akufo, called for the immediate arrest of all illegal miners whose sites are close to the highway.
Because I saw. If you say, in Crawford, Taka Garamsi, Anna, young small-scale miners, and Tessie. Banade yankasa be hu ade ofo no garamse en ye ntran no mu we ni masogan ha ayo man no mo say no nti ye be make sure say yen small scale miners no kwan bi be for say be chinkrofo aye sa dwun oboni wo gan ha bia no ye be chi omo ye ma obi akwan so o maye ade mpan say o man no license no kuta man kwan se yen kututu baby abe say o man japade Inti kombi ebe kwa so ebe chi sankrofo ebe chi magana fu nya se esun garamse na sun small scale mine in Ghana. In ade a omo ye de adeboni. We're not going to sit down for this thing to happen in this country. We have to stop it. We have to stop it. We're going to do that. So I've instructed the commander to make sure to arrest these culprits by the close of this week.
Since my task force for a share massive, me ko ejuma mo ye ewo brain no for that matter me district had many aso mo ejuma ho pa before God the man. Now the rate at which omo de omo from and then 3 days, that was Monday last week Thursday. And I joined them for frame some go be a galamsey or baby. I'm buying the kind of Jumadin and Mobay and yet meeting for maybe. And see, it's my essay said, you be any idea of a police bill. And see, we need no crisis arrangement for another operation, but because of your coming into they are said that I see, sir, there are people I can rely on. Now, yeah.
Still to come, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has announced that airline passengers traveling to Ghana will from Friday, March 31st, no longer be required to fill out landing cards at the Kotoka International Airport. Well, kindly stay with us for more stories. You welcome back. Now, the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has announced that airline passengers traveling to Ghana will from Friday, March 31st, no longer be required to fill out landing cards at the Kotoka International Airport. He has also directed the Ministry of Interior and the Ghana Immigration Service to ensure that e-gate at the country's major entry points will be operational in the year for use by passengers bearing Ghana cards or passport. Their decisions were taken after a meeting which he described as productive with key stakeholders including the Minister for Public Enterprises, Minister for Transport and his deputy, the Ghana Airport Company Limited, National Security, Ministry of Interior, and in improving the competitiveness of the Kotoka International Airport. Vice President Bawumia took to his official Facebook page on Thursday, February 9th, to announce the decisions taken. Now, moving forward, the MP for KJB, Engineer Yao Go-Mado, with the support of Floki, has constructed a 3-unit classroom block with a sanitary facility for the Dodo Dompa Basic School in the Oti region. The new structure is to create a quality learning environment for the students and teachers in the community.
The Dodo Dompa DA Primary School has classrooms for some of the students, but the kindergarten and JHS are a problem. According to the headmaster of the school, Agbeshi Sharima, the dilapidated structure there was used to accommodate the kindergarten and was put up by the community. The condition of the structure hindered teaching and learning, posing dangers to the students' safety.
Previously, the school had no KG block, so the community and the PTA decided to put up this structure here, which we were using for the KG. By looking at it, it was not conducive for the children, so I had to move the KG classes to this part.
The Dodompa is a community in the KJB district in the Oti region. The community has a population of around 2,300. Members of the community are mostly engaged in farming. The MP of KJB, Engineer Yao Go-Mado, said the nature of the school was heartbreaking, but through the support of the international organization Floki, the school now has a 3-unit classroom block and sanitary facility.
I was partly brought up here, and we knew what we had gone through in terms of education. We were fortunate to finally have the primary school, but kindergarten and the JHS was a problem for us, especially the children as their numbers were increasing.
The Ghana Country Director of Pencils of Promise, Framagoma, said they aim to create quality education for all levels of students.
Our core mandate is to provide school infrastructure, sanitation facility for schools that do not have these structures. The other one that we also do, because we know that a school is not only the physical structure we are seeing, though a key part of education delivery. So we also support teachers through our teacher support program, where we provide education or training through workshops for teachers that are in this classroom. We want to be sure that these classrooms are being put in good use. So we'll be visiting the community, just like we are doing for all the other schools that we have built, the 197 schools we've built within these 10 years that we've been operating in Ghana.
Now, traditional leaders and the youth groups in the 5 Ahafo North mining communities have petitioned the government to prompt state laws to ensure the Newmont Ahafo North mining project commences without further delays. Some aggrieved farmers have refused to grant Newmont Africa Ahafo North project access to their farms and other properties over compensation-related issues. The chiefs and the coalition of Ahafo North youth say the situation is thwarting the operations of the company and threatens the livelihoods of the youth and the benefit of the communities.
Speaking at the joint press conference of chiefs and the youth groups, the chief of Afrisipa, Nana Obonim Nkrere IV, expressed worry about what he described as the negative influences from the Wasa Association of Communities Affected by Mining, a community-based human rights and environmental mining advocacy non-governmental organization, on some farmers.
Some of our people disagree with Newmont, but after engagement, they agreed to allow access to their lands, only for them to back out on the advice of Wakam.
omontiase na ya kacha musadia na ha mo nka meyentie na de wase yanka ma adwembra na
amicable resolution. Then I appeal to the government to use the LI to resolve it, to pave way for Newmont to start the project to ease our suffering. We don't want February to end without any sign. We are determined and will not allow a few individuals to frustrate our progress.
The Techire Youth Chairman Richard Yeboah and the second vice chairman of the coalition also stated that attempts by the regional minister, the municipal chief executive and Newmont, among others, to engage the aggrieved farmers for an amicable solution proved fertile, a situation they accused the Wasa Association of Communities affected by mining of being behind.
The coalition, knowing the kind of development coming into our community, will not sit down for Wakam to disrupt a project that will benefit the youth and the community at large for their selfish interest. The coalition would like to send a caution to Wakam to desist from any attempt to disrupt the Newmont Ahafnof project, because the coalition and Nananom are ready to face them squarely and their anti-mining ideology. We again ask our brothers and sisters to come to the table for amicable solution. However, since we cannot compel them, we ask the government to act collectively to pave way for the progress of the project, whilst using the process to address the individual's concern.
The chief noted that the situation left them with no choice but to appeal to the government to take steps within their powers for the project to begin for the communities and Ghana's benefit. He added that such a move by the government, after the continuous refusal of the agreed farmers to allow the agreed compensation-related issues to progress and pave way for the project, would ease the sufferings of the people. Some agreed farmers, on the other hand, have appealed to the government to ensure that the agreed compensation are paid in time to avoid devaluation of the money.
Now, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is embarking on a massive cleanup and enforcement exercise at the Abobloshi market to maintain sanity within the environment. The exercise, which began last Thursday, is aimed at the Zilton choked gutters in the market, relocating traders who sell along the road, clearing vehicles parked on the shoulders of the road, and prosecuting offenders who fail to adhere to the assembly bylaws. Addressing the media during the exercise, the head of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly Environmental and Sanitation Team, Florence Kuchi, expressed disappointment over the state of the market, noting that the decongestion exercise would not be a 9-day wonder, but would be a continuous exercise that would be carried out frequently till sanity was maintained at the Abobloshi market.
It's better to prevent it than to let it happen before we look for remedies to it. So this morning we picked those boys who take action against the owner. Whatever necessary action we need to take against the owner, we'll take against the owner. If the young will be given back, we'll give it back. If it's not be given back to, we'll give it to the children's home. So that is what we are doing. Since as at now there is no owner, it means the yam is for the state. We don't want to put the health of people who are coming into Accra, the city center, to come and shop and go home in danger. We want anybody who comes in here come in here and shop safely and go back safely, so that the economy can grow for us to have a harnessed country.
Now, during the rainy season in 2022, the Weija-Bawe enclave was one of the hardest hit areas, as hundreds of houses were submerged. This has prompted the Municipal Assembly to begin dredging major river bodies and streams that pass through the municipality to prevent flooding during this year's rainy season. The spillage of the Weija Dam did not also help matters, as it went beyond its banks and destroyed properties worth thousands of Ghana cedis in the area. According to the Assembly, the estuary that joins the Weija Dam will also not be left out in the exercise, while pledging to demolish structures on waterways.
According to the Chief Executive of the Weija-Bawe Municipal Assembly, Patrick Kumo, the desilting exercise is to prevent flooding in the area this year. He said the spillage of the Weija Dam was as a result of the dam overflowing its banks, which contributed to flooding in the enclave. The MCE was hopeful that major parts would be covered before the rain set in, despite the financial challenges that delayed the commencement of the dredging works.
Okay, that this year, I must say, is going to be a challenging year for us all. Whatever that is happening in the nation, we're sure will trickle down to the local level, because funds to the assembly will be a bit of a challenge. So therefore, we're calling on all citizens in the municipality to also support. Let me also commend the association at New Wager area for also starting the initiative of dredging, for which the assembly also came in to support. Other associations can also take that move so that we can all together solve this issue in the municipality.
He urged various households within the municipality to endeavor to clean the various gutters within their enclave.
But I must say a lot of steps are going to be taken to mitigate the flooding situation in the municipality. We cannot say it will be solved, but then whatever we need to do so that a lot of people wouldn't go into difficulty this year is what myself and the Member of Parliament are trying to do this year. We mark some few structures that are going to be pulled down. So we're hoping that by end of this month, some actions will be taken on those structures. But be rest assured, we will not kowtow to any indiscriminate or people taking the laws into their hands in the municipality. We marked those structures yesterday. Last year, we have given them ultimatum to move from those areas. If they are not budging, then of course we have no choice than to go in to pull those structures down, which I must promise you will be done by the end of this month.
The Member of Parliament for the constituency, Tinana Ayele Mensah, on her part, urged persons living within the catchment area of the Wager Dam to move to safer grounds to protect lives and properties.
For the constituents and the people living along the waterways, that the rain will be coming, and we don't want to have any disaster or any calamity. So they should start preparing themselves, whether to move from where they are and then find somewhere else to go before there is any problem here. Or those also that have been throwing this garbages, this rubbish into the drains, we are also telling them, we are also appealing to them to stop doing so, because when you put this rubbish or the drains into this gutters, it will get choked, and when it gets choked, the water will not go, it will be stagnant, and when it's stagnant, it will go back to your various houses or your various places. So this is what we are telling them, that for us, we don't want anything to happen. We have started our part, myself, the MC, the NADMO, we have started our part, collaborating, we are dredging, whatever we want to do here. So it's also up to them to move away from waterways to make sure that they don't also choke the gutters, so that we have free ways of water. But one thing we should also know is that we are doing our part. We, the people of or the municipal assembly, with myself and the NADMO, we are doing our part.
Coming up now is sports right after this break.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the sports segment of the Wake Up Show. My name is Robert Konyeh. Let me take you through the headlines for this morning. Cristiano Ronaldo bagged 4 goals in the Saudi Arabian League for Al Nassr in their win over Al Wahda. Also, Manchester United and Crystal Palace have been charged by the FA for the prayer brawl at the Old Trafford when the two teams met in the Premier League. Antonio Conte has returned to the Tottenham training grounds ahead of their game this weekend.
This morning was into the pitch with us. He has to take it easy for a bit, but and we are so...
Also, Burnley head coach Vincent Kompany has spoken about Manchester City's financial fair play charges.
He obviously didn't, but Like I said, I've got a crazy fixture list here. Game every 3 days.
Kelvin Prince Boateng has opened up on how his Black Stars career ended after the World Cup in 2014. Now, former House of Folk defender Mohamed Al-Hassan has joined Asante Kotoko on a free transfer. Now, let's go for this quick break. We'll be back with the details of the stories. You're welcome back. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo announced his presence in the Saudi Arabian League with 4 goals for Al Nassr in their win over Al Wahda, while Mohamed Kudus's late goal helped Ajax to qualify to the next round of the Netherlands Cup. Now, Manchester United and Crystal Palace have been charged for rule breaking by the FA after a mass brawl broke out between players at the Old Trafford. The record started after Crystal Palace midfielder Jeffrey Schlupp made a heavy tackle on Manchester United's Anthony. The clubs have been given some time to respond to the charges. Now, Antonio Conte has returned to Tottenham training grounds to take charge of training session ahead of the Premier League this weekend. It is unclear as to whether Conte will appear in the dugout against Leicester City on Sunday. However, Stellini confessed that Conte has been told to take it easy for a few days and could not confirm who would be in charge of Saturday's visit to the King Power Stadium.
This morning was into the pitch with us. He has to take it easy for a bit, but and we were so happy to meet him again in the training ground. The player, he spent time to hug everyone into the training ground, and we didn't speak about his what he will do in the next match, but he's back, and we are happy for that, and we have time to arrive to the game ready also with Antonio.
And you've reminded him that you've got to...
Now, Burnley's coach Victor Kompany says he normally feels uncomfortable when he hears people saying Manchester City have broken the financial fair play rules.
Yeah, look, and I gave a very brief answer that I thought was going to put the question away. He obviously didn't, but like I said, I've got a crazy fixture list here. Game every 3 days. I don't have much to expand on this, you know. I've said one quote who I really believe in. I just get a little bit uncomfortable where when the world of football starts pointing fingers too much, you know. I'm all for the right versus the wrong, and but I've seen this industry for too long now, and you know, it's I would, you know, I'd be. It's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes to watch some of the comments from some of the people in the industry. I gotta be honest. Do you know what? In general, I would class myself as a well-informed person, but as soon as the fixture list piles up and these guys next to you have been through it already this season with us, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't know what's happening outside. I barely catch the news. I'm just watching games from the opposition. I'm focused on improving the players we've got. It's a job I do, and I don't know. All I can tell you is just the classic things, which is, you know, he's obviously a talented manager because I know his record, and I hope he's going to do well because, you know, it's a beautiful generation and a great team of players he's got. Yeah, look, and I gave a very brief answer that I thought was going to put the question away. He obviously didn't, but like I said, I've got a crazy fixture list here, game every 3 days. I don't have much to expand on this, you know. I've said one quote who I really believe in. I just get a little bit uncomfortable where when the world of football starts pointing fingers too much, you know. I'm all for the right versus the wrong, and but I've seen this industry for too long now, and you know, it's I would, you know, I'd be. It's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes to watch some of the comments from.
Now, former Black Stars player Kevin Prince Boateng says he has regret about his stint with the Ghana national team. KP Boateng, who played at 2 World Cup tournaments for Ghana, professed that he never intended to end his career how it ended with the Black Stars of Ghana after the 2014 FIFA World Cup. The former AC Milan player was expelled from the Black Stars following a bust-up between him and coach Akwasi Appiah after the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Now, Kumasi Asante Kotoko have secured the services of former House of Folk defender Mohamed Alassane on a free transfer. The transfer was officially confirmed by Kotoko on Thursday, although no further information was given. Alassane parted ways with House of Folk earlier this year due to a disagreement with the club's management. During his time with the Phobians, he was a key contributor to the team's successes, helping them win the FA Cup titles and ending a long wait for their Ghana Premier League championship in 2021. The acquisition of Alassane has given Kotoko the reason to be optimistic about their chances of securing a domestic double this season. Now, that's how we end sports this morning. I am Robert Konyeh. Thank you so much for watching.
You welcome back. Let's take a recap of the headlines. Chaos erupted at the Nyinam police station following the arrest of 2 illegal miners by the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners in the Tiwa East District of the Eastern Region. We have for you traditional leaders and the youth groups in the 5 Af North mining communities have petitioned the government to prompt state laws to ensure the Newmont Af North mining project commences without further delays. And the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is embarking on a massive cleanup and the enforcement exercise at the Abublushi Market to maintain sanity within the environment. Well, thank you very much for your time this morning. I am Sandra BOAHEN. It's now time for Yasuni Sendu. Enjoy the rest of our morning.